Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan the Skeptical One.
I'm Erin the Believer.
Shot. Ready? Cheers.
I always forget. Okay.
A lick. Lick, shoot,
I'm
suck.
licking. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh
It's like college.
my gosh.
Tastes just like college.
Yep. Just gotta find a boy to make out with now.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Well, welcome.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister. Oh, we already did that part. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So it's been a day.
it's been a day.
I can't quite put my finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might just be a bitch.
Well, me too then. Sorry, world.
I feel like I don't want to blame this. I'm always rolling my eyes when somebody's like, "Oh, she's PMSing," but I think I might actually be PMSing today. Like, it took about the third class of me being like, "These kids
Are
are
horrible.
the worst," for me to be like, maybe it's me. And then after the fifth one, I was like, I think it's me.
Yeah. Sometimes you are the common denominator. That's a sucky feeling, isn't it?
Right. I feel like it was a rough day.
Yeah.
But I also feel like on a normal day, it would not have gotten to me the way it got to me today. Whew, and it was constant.
Well, and I wonder because we had a glorious personal day on Friday. We both took a personal day to celebrate Erin's fabulous birthday
Yes, thank you.
and our almost year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we capitalized on the personal day and, celebrated them both in one. So maybe it's because we took that day off.
I know. I think so.
And it was so amazing. And it was like,
oh, nice.
this is how rich people live. They don't have anything to worry about. They just keep ordering without even thinking about how much it's going to cost.
Yeah. First of all, we each had a gift certificate for $50 to the River House from our amazing friends, Jewel and Emily.
Yes.
And so together that was $100. And then we were like, now the rest is our podcast money, which
is play money.
We are saving for things. Like we've got plans with that money, but it's also guilt-free money, money that only came from us.
And money that you and I get to spend however we want. So
That's
we're like, we're looking at each other like, yeah, another? Do we want another round? Let's do it.
Do we also want a tiny appetizer?
Yes,
for
we do.
$15? Heck yes.
That we would never normally buy because it was so tiny.
It was so
but
tiny.
We got that for free.
We did end up getting it for free. And the best thing I've ever eaten in my whole life.
Oh my gosh.
The manager, they were all so sweet at River House. And the manager who was there at the time was so excited because she listens to podcasts, not ours yet.
She hadn't heard of ours, yeah.
Hopefully by now she'll be a fan. But she was so excited that we were there that she brought out these, were they called fritters?
Oh, they were like crab rangoon squash blossom?
Yeah, that
squash
sounds right.
Blossom fried rangoon fritters.
That was a mouthful. I don't think that could have been it. They were the best thing I've ever eaten.
Oh, they were hands down. I mean, we were so excited about the tower, which did not disappoint, but we got to give it to the fritters. They were the best thing that we ate that day.
They're seriously one of the best things I've ever eaten in my whole life. Yes. I would go back just for those fritters.
Yes. And now that could be all we could afford.
Now I would, right. If I could ever go back again, I'd be like, could I just get your fritters?
Yeah.
Maybe 4, all to myself.
Yes. And some water, please. Because we definitely spent our wad on that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we did.
It was pricey, but it was so fun for a day
to feel lavish.
Pretend as though we didn't have, a cat. We definitely had a cat, but we pretended like we didn't for a while. And then it was like, oh man. And our server, Samantha.
So great.
Oh my gosh. We could not have asked. I'm so glad that's her name because we definitely verified. I was calling her that throughout the whole meal. And then at one point, Erin was like, are you sure that's her name? Because you're saying it with a lot of confidence. And yes, it was. Thank goodness. But she was amazing.
She was awesome.
Dimples to kill for.
I know. She was so cute. She would come and talk to us. Loved it.
Yeah. I wanted her to pull up a chair and just.
We kept trying. We're like, we have so much food in the tower. Please come help us eat it.
But we didn't. We got through it. I mean, we did.
We muscled through.
We
had muscled
through.
There were muscles.
They're the only things we didn't really like.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
Other people who really love cold mussels probably love them. But,
yes.
Because there was nothing wrong with the actual mussel.
Oh,
it was
for sure. I just like my mussels warm and in a bunch of blue cheese sauce.
Yeah, broth. The broth is where it's at when it comes to mussels, I think. So, but other than that, I mean, come on, that tower was insane.
It was
took
beautiful.
2 people to carry it out. It was everything we ever wanted it to be. The drinks were amazing.
I got a smoked old fashioned. In fact, I got 2 of them.
Yes, you did.
They were so good.
And it was literally smoking at the table.
Why is it better if it's smoked? I don't know, but it was. I could smell the smoky flavor. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This is just an advertisement for River House. And it should be. It was so good.
Oh, yeah, it did not disappoint. And it was so fun because it was just the 2 of us in the middle of the day on a personal day. So all of our kids were where they needed to be.
Right.
So we didn't have the guilt of somebody watching our kids. And it was just glorious. It was a beautiful day, which then just made today shit.
Yes. Today was rough.
And I walked in there and had all these limes cut. And I was like, we're drinking beer tonight, but a shot of tequila. Why not? Let's take it on back to college days and do a shot of tequila at 9:00 at night. That sounds awesome.
Why not?
We'll go to the club here in a little bit, get it going.
Oh my gosh. That's right.
Those were the days.
All right. Well, I have one more hamster update and then I think we're done.
Oh my gosh. You're done with the hamsters?
No,
What's going to happen to
I just
them?
feel like I won't have any more updates. What else could I possibly
Well, you never
tell you?
know. You never know.
That's
They could
true.
relapse.
Oh my gosh. I did have a dream that they all had babies. We don't know if they're boy and girl.
Oh,
I just really hope they're girls.
Aaron, that would be
That'd be horrible. That would be a big update. I would update y'all if they're suddenly babies.
Yeah, you'd have to because you'd have to give them away.
I'm like, please get these babies.
You'd like name them all Dime Bag, and we'd find names.
Oh no, I don't know any other drug reference.
Little,
Molly.
Little Toker. I don't know.
Now I kind of want it to happen.
Toker.
Toker is cute.
That's a cute kid name.
Toker is cuter than 8 Ball.
Sorry.
We should change it Kilo and Toker.
No.
Too late?
Nope, too late. Toker or 8 Ball's just going to have a baby.
Okay.
Just one.
One. I don't think that's
just
how that
one.
works.
Named Toker.
Well, we have moved them out of my beautiful pantry.
Oh, finally. Where are they?
They're in the girls' room. We figured we got a little silent wheel. Stephanie recommended it. So it doesn't squeak all night. So
perfect.
I was just afraid it's not heated back there in that pantry. And I was
I thought you meant in your girls' room. I was like, well, that's awful.
No.
Your kids need heat.
In the pantry, it's like part of the add-on from the previous owners. And it gets cold. And I would go in there and I was like, oh, they're going to eat each other just so they can crawl inside the skin.
That's disgusting.
Like, it is cold.
Oh my gosh. Poor little things. Well, good. I'm glad they're nice and warm and tucked away with your girls. And
yeah. Now it's a full zoo back there. It's got Rosie the tortoise and the hamsters. And everybody was making noise tonight when I was trying to get the girls to bed. And I was like, I think they're just going to have to ignore it.
Yeah. Y'all are just going to have to get over it.
Yeah. We live in a zoo.
That's hilarious. Oh, I'm sure they love it. Your girls love it.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, good.
I got my booster shot. I'm all boosted up.
Nice.
Kids are getting their vaccine on next Saturday.
Damn, girl, you already got them scheduled.
I'm going. It's happening.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Heck yes. Yes,
one
let's do
step
this.
closer. Penelope is so scared of shots. I was like, this is a step towards no masks. And she
Yeah.
was like, yep, just at school. And I was like, no, honey, not even at school. She was like, no masks at school?
Oh, isn't that funny? She's never been to school without a mask.
I said, you don't know because you've always been to school during a pandemic, but
wow.
we used to not wear masks, and her whole mind was blown.
Oh, I bet. That's crazy that they never even knew that. And then
Yeah.
imagine what they're just not even going to know who each other is.
I know. It is so weird.
Oh, that's so exciting though.
I
So
know.
yeah,
So
let's make that happen.
Even Penelope, who's afraid of shots, is excited that
There you
we're
go.
one step closer.
Yes, let's get rid of these damn masks. Let's get back to
Healthy.
life. Healthy. Yes, healthy life for sure. That is awesome.
Oh, I keep thinking of things. I watched
Good,
a
because
show.
I'm like searching my brain. I'm like, what? I am so boring right now. I have. I did just think of something. But go on. You tell me.
I binged all of Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin, and
I tried for the
know.
first 10 minutes and hated it.
I know this is what I have to say.
Okay.
There's a lot of silly in it,
Uh-huh.
and you have to press through the silly. To
You
get
have to
the
endure
story.
that part. Well, see, I like Steve Martin
Yeah.
and I like Martin Short.
Yeah.
Separately.
Huh. Weird.
When they're together, they get on my nerves so bad. And I don't know what it
In
is.
Father of the Bride, because that's one of the best movies ever. Every party has a poopa. That's what we invited you. Party poopa.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and see it.
Now I feel bad. Like, again, anytime I reference an old movie, I'm like, it could be horrible
It
now.
could
And I'm
be.
so sorry. It probably is.
Right.
I haven't watched it since I was about 13.
That's hilarious. Well, I don't know. Just like whenever I see them on Saturday Night Live together or whenever they're kind of doing like a a shtick together. Maybe
Yeah.
not a movie, but I don't know. I just didn't get into it. So you're saying it's worth it? Power through?
I don't know if you would like it because it's got
Yeah.
enough silly that you're like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
But I powered through. I liked the story. I like the twists.
Okay.
I like how constantly I was like, oh, I bet it's this. And then I was like, no, I don't think it's, I think it's, and I was wrong.
I do like those. I
the
like
whole
the
time I was
second
wrong.
guess. Mm.
And I will have to say, Selena Gomez, beautiful.
Yes.
She talks like her back teeth are together.
Oh no. Well,
Like-
maybe
like,
that's what makes her
Maybe they
beautiful.
were like wired shut. I feel like I'm doing a very good impression of Selena Gomez right now.
I don't really know who she is, but you're doing a great impression of somebody with their mouth wired shut.
That's what she talks like.
Oh, I wonder why.
It's so weird.
It oddly makes me want to do it too.
It's weird because she's an actress. Like, it wouldn't be weird
it
if
kinda
she
like-
was like an office manager. Or,
Well, now does she? Well, that would still be weird. Like you have to talk a lot in that job.
I know, but like her profession, she's also a singer, but she doesn't sing like that.
Hmm.
Her profession is like
Okay, does she always talk like that, or just in this role?
always. She always talks like that.
Because I think I was like, maybe it's because she's kind of trying to talk like the 50s.
No, because I also weirdly, when I couldn't sleep one night, watched that Cooking with Selena,
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, Selena's going to teach me how to cook. But no, she doesn't know how to cook.
Oh, so
And
people are
she,
teaching her
like
how to.
zooms in, like
Oh.
Zoom calls professional chefs.
Oh, that's
and then
funny.
they teach her, and then that's fun.
Yeah.
But she still talks like this all the time.
I wonder if it's because she thinks it's sexy. Somebody should tell her
Maybe.
it's not quite as sexy as she thinks it is.
I don't know. I've watched her, and it doesn't look like she's doing it.
I gotta
I'm
watch
so
this girl. I
confused.
gotta watch it now. I'm gonna go home and watch Selena cooking now.
Oh, good. It's a good. I like Selena cooking.
Did you?
Or
Okay.
Cooking with Selena? I don't know what it is, but I like that.
I have
show.
a feeling that little weird quirk of hers is gonna really bother me.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so maybe I'll watch like 10 minutes of it and then be done. I'll let you know.
It's good. I learned how to make a really good French omelet.
Okay.
I made it for me and Kevin, and it was delicious.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, I do like a good cooking show, so
yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about people who talk like this.
Right. Well, now you'll find out. See?
Now we've been doing it so long, it's hard to not do it.
Okay, what were you going to say?
I gotta look up his name. Why do I always want
I
to
don't know.
throw out things that I don't know?
Last week we did this. I had to edit like 8 minutes out of the
I
beginning.
know, I'm sorry. Well, I was just gonna say, like, shout out to my husband for picking out something really fun that I swear I thought was gonna be really boring. I'll admit it now that he doesn't listen to the podcast anymore.
Right.
But he was like, do you want to go see a concert in November? This was way back a long time ago. I was like, yeah, sure. I love concerts. Going out sounds like fun. I'm down. And then he started telling me about it. And I was like, well, I already said sure. And yeah, it's kind of like when you commit to something a little too soon and then you're like, oh, how do I back out of this? But he was like, yeah, it's an Italian guitarist. So it's all instrumental. I'm like, oh my gosh, this does not sound up my alley. And he's like, and it's in Jasper, Indiana. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of.
Which is how close to us.
An hour and a half away.
Right. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. So we're going to drive an hour. We're going to get a babysitter so we can drive 3 hours round trip to go see an Italian guitarist. This sounds interesting.
This is proof that you have not been married for more than 10 years because I would be like, no, I am not doing that.
Well, Aaron, this is proof that maybe you should open your mind
Okay. You're right.
because it was like the best concert I've ever been to. You laugh every time I say that.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Mhm.
And you do need to find out his name. What's his name?
Oh, there's a name. Okay. Even his name is hot. Okay, ready? Luca Striganoli.
Ooh, he sounds delicious.
He was delicious. So first of all,
Let me see a picture of him. Is there a picture?
yeah. Let me.
Talk about how hot he was, and then
Oh, he was hot, girl. Look at this. Oh man, he looks like fierce in that,
oh, hello,
Right? And-
handsome.
right?
Yeah, I kind of like to see him in motion.
Yes, you would. You would like to see him in motion. There he's smiling real big.
Oh, way hotter there.
Right. Yeah, he's smiling.
Yeah, show that picture first. The other one, he looks like a bad bachelor contestant.
But yeah, that was my first thing is when we sit down and he comes out, I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know what I was thinking with Italian. I guess I was thinking boring, old guy. I have no idea. No, he's way young, probably too young for me to be looking at, but young, very good looking. And so I'm thinking, well, this is, even if I am bored, this won't be bad to look at for another hour and a half. But of course I am with my husband, so I couldn't tell him that, but it's no big deal. I sat there like, okay, Buckland's, but he was so funny because
Oh,
he, in between every song, he kind of told a little bit of a story about how he, revamped this guitar to do what he wanted it to do.
that was
And
pretty
he
cool.
could play unbelievable music. And he played like percussion with the guitar, and he would have all these different instruments and things that he did, or like household items that he turned into instruments. But it was like unbelievable music. And yeah, so the whole thing was fabulous and very fun to watch.
When he was playing just music, did you then get to talk to your partner, or you just had to sit there and listen to him just play
Well,
music?
Aaron, the way that concerts go is you don't talk over the music.
I mean, some concerts.
No, this
are
was
loud.
definitely a sit down, quiet concert. But I mean, he did enough between the songs
Right.
that you were laughing, and talking kind of a little bit like you were, so it was,
Okay. No, I'm sold. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sold that a lot of people would love it.
oh, it was, yes. I don't know that you would, because you're not a big musical person, but it was really cool the way
Yeah.
he did it. And I mean, I was entertained the entire time. There was not one point where I was bored or anything like that. So, and I was real excited. It was not a dry county. I got real nervous halfway there. I was like, oh shit, we're going to this very boring concert in Jasper, Indiana. And I thought, oh no, what if this is so boring, alcohol free? What is about to happen? But don't worry, I didn't get the shakes. There was alcohol there.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. You survived.
Oh, no. So it was great. It was a very fun, packed, full of fun weekend. So I
Yes.
can't complain. It was a great time.
Awesome. Well, I have a really long story that I
I do
have not
too.
read yet.
Wow. I have a really long story too.
Okay. I think we should go for it.
Okay. You get into it first.
Okay. So I'm reading another story from Jane. Remember Jane Smith?
Oh, I do remember her name. We loved her name.
Yes. And she's the one who wrote all the little stories with little titles.
Oh, yes. I do remember. I read hers.
Yes. You read hers. And it looks, again, I did not read this all the way through, but it looks to be the same format.
Nice. I love it.
And it does start out, okay, first of all, the subject says, I'm sorry, suddenly I was like, oh, what if we're not recording? The subject is, oh, what do we have here? More stories.
Yes. Now I remember. She was very quirky, very funny.
Yes.
Yes.
Her cat kept talking to her.
Oh, yes. 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 Okay. I'm excited.
So
I'm excited.
listen, if a cat talks to her here, again, I have not read this.
I can't wait.
I'm prepared to be pissed.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, so the last story from Jane, if you remember, she was a janitor and there was some spooky security guard.
Yes. And yeah, and it didn't have anything to do with the cat. You were like, if this has to do with the cat, I'm going to be so
Right.
pissed. Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, so this starts out talking about janitor again.
Okay.
Okay, so the first little story is gut feeling.
Mm.
As I had mentioned before in my last email, I was a janitor that had cleaned multiple buildings and sites. One building that I cleaned was particularly spooky. It was an old building and it had a bunch of weird add-ons. It was a little like a maze. My manager had suggested that I wear headphones. Why?
Mm.
Don't you tell me what to do?
Right. Well, also, yeah, make yourself more vulnerable.
Right.
Thanks, manager.
Right.
Dick.
And listen to music while I clean to distract me from all the spooky noises.
Oh my gosh. I don't feel like that's the way to go.
I know.
Oh.
It had been a little over a year since I had signed on to clean that building, so I was used to all the flickering lights and weird creaks and groans. One day I was cleaning the break area when I felt like someone punched through me.
Oh my gosh.
It knocked the wind out of me. I was sick to my stomach and I couldn't catch my breath. I continued cleaning and it happened again.
What?
I left the room and decided to come back to it later. When I did come back, it happened again and again, only a few seconds between blows,
What?
if even that. I finished as quickly as I could, and to be honest, I kind of half-assed it to get out of there quick.
Huh.
I was not sure what that was, but I imagined maybe something walking through me,
Ew.
or maybe a strange ball of energy that I was walking through. Is that what a panic attack feels like?
Maybe. And that's, can I stop there, or does she keep going with that same
She
story?
keeps going with the same story.
Okay.
Two more paragraphs.
Go ahead.
I've had a couple of more weird things happen in that building. Equipment would turn on by itself. There were several times where I walked by a printer and it would start printing or something like that. Of course, I would hear things too, but I didn't investigate well enough to try to debunk it. It had some faucets that turned on when I had left the room. The thing that really bothered me was when I was cleaning by the bathrooms and there was a little tiny window that looked into a shop where farm equipment was worked on, and I saw a creature that had horns,
What?
a mane like a lion, and the legs of
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I've got to picture this.
Okay,
It had horns.
horns.
I was not going mane. I did not go in my mind to a lion's mane.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead.
A mane like a lion,
Okay.
and legs and feet were those of a goat. It
What
started.
the fuck? That is not like any demon I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of demons. No, I'm
Kind of
kidding.
reminds me of that thing that Napoleon Dynamite's drawing in one of the.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she watched that before.
No. It started to turn its head and look my way, and I ducked down. I would not allow myself to be in the view of the window from that point forward. Oh my gosh. When cleaning, I would not look in the direction of that door, and I had to be careful not to look into something that had the reflection. Ooh, that would
What?
reflect that door with a window.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Keep
that's it for that story. Do you want me?
Yes, I
You wanna
need you to
stop?
pause and stop
Okay.
there because that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first little part. I wonder if she was having like almost like some sort of like physical reaction as far as like an allergy attack or a seizure or something like that. But because she had such like a spooky vibe because she didn't like the layout, the feng shui, if you will,
Uh-huh.
of the building, that she was thinking in that paranormal mindset. Like that, kind of like when you hear about the carbon monoxide of places doing things to people, but they think
Yeah.
it's paranormal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how scary is that? That your physical body could have actually been like, you had heart palpitations or you had something going on physically, but you just kind of dismissed it as this is something paranormal.
But as soon as she left, it stopped, and then she came back to try to finish, and it started up again.
Right. I thought that. And then she helped me debunk it with panic attack. I wonder if she was having like a series of panic attacks in this room because she was so nervous and scared to be in this room that her body was like, panicking in a state of panic. And that's what it felt like for her.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had a panic attack, thank goodness.
Oh, I have. But I had one when I was on bed rest for 41 days with the little beautiful child of mine. That first one that I had. And
shan't mention his
we
name.
shan't mention his name because he made me suffer. So, but no, I had to be on bed rest with him, with that pregnancy for 41 days in the hospital.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh boy, you're telling me. And those were my first set of like panic attacks I would have like daily. And then the longer I was in there, it was more hourly. And mine were more like literally the walls coming in on me just after, a month of being there. It was like this, I'm never getting out of here. And it was like a panic of like, I can't breathe. Everything's coming in on me. So I think I don't think a panic attack is one size fits all.
Yeah.
I think they're very different. I think they're very, depending on your setting, depending on your stress. So to me, it sounds like she was scared to be in that building. And so her panic came more of like a jolt kind of, whereas mine was more like, I'm slowly going to suffocate because of this beautiful child in my womb.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, he is. I love him. Go on.
Now, how do you explain the weird goat creature?
Oh my gosh. Okay. That to me is so, I don't think it's so hard for me to understand that if you see a creature, you don't go investigate it. Maybe it's just because from the time I was little bitty, I loved catching things. Like if it moved, I was going after it. I wanted frogs. I wanted worms. I wanted every little thing. So nothing scared me as far as like spiders didn't scare me. Snakes, nothing like that ever scared me. The older I get, you would think I would know, I would be wiser. Like that's not going to hurt me, but I do jump more now. But when I was little, it was like, I didn't care what it was. I was going after it and catching it. So I could not imagine seeing a creature and not going back for a second look and being like, what the fuck am I looking at? And if I can't figure it out by looking at it, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find out what it is.
Even if it had a mane like a lion, I wouldn't. Goats kind of freak me out.
No, I think that's so weird to me that your remedy for that is just don't look into reflections. That's bizarre to me. I would be like,
Reflections, I feel like, are creepy. We've talked about this.
okay, but here's why they can be just about it. It could have been like a statue. It could have been something
It was turning to look at her.
in her mind.
Ugh.
When you see something that like jarring and like, I don't know what the hell that is, your mind can play so many tricks on you in those few seconds of like, if I keep looking at this thing, I'm going to make it move. I can make it move with my mind. I can imagine what it's going to look like. And then all of a sudden your mind starts playing a trick on you.
All right. This
Okay.
email's too long for us to.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Really, you're just pissing me off because you never
Okay.
agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
What a day for a daydream. The first time that's the name of this next one.
Oh, I was like, look, she just went ahead and said it was a daydream.
No. Next one. That's the next title.
Okay.
The first time I was sick while I was living alone in my apartment, I was really sick.
Mm.
I remember I woke up with that feeling that I had weird dreams. I had a fever and I was so nauseous.
Mm.
I woke up because I had to use the restroom. When I stood up and I walked toward the bathroom, I stopped at my doorway and did not take a step outside of my room. In the corner of the living room, I saw 3 men with bald heads, pale grayish skin, and black eyes. Nope, not worth it. I laid back down and hoped it was a fever dream.
Oh,
I
no.
held my pee until the morning of the next day.
Oh, no, that's awful.
That is awful.
Yeah, I'd just pee the bed. I mean, it's your bed.
Find the trash can.
Yeah, you're single, whatever, go for it.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like aliens. Grayish skin, bald heads, black eyes.
Oh, yeah, that or my dream, that weird dream I used to have when I was a kid. That's exactly what they look like.
Ooh.
Crazy.
So weird.
It's weird when you reoccurring things. That makes me wonder what kind of movie or show did we watch? I don't know how this person is, but when they were little, maybe they're my same age, maybe we saw some like obscure movie or show that like really freaked us out and stayed with us and like it visits us in our dreams.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, we're just going to power through.
Okay.
Next title is Lights Buzzing Action.
Oh, I love her.
I know. When I was a kid, I shared my room with my younger sister. I am 7 or 8 years older than her. We had also shared a full-size bed. I was a teenager when this happened. I don't remember what age, maybe around 14 years old. I woke up in the middle of the night and looked over at my bedroom door to see little balls of light hovering and dancing around. It was weird and creepy, but what could I do about it?
Scream? I mean, I could think of like 100 things you could do. Get up, go look, scream, wake your sister up.
Well, I sure as heck wasn't going over there. It was scary, so I went back to sleep.
That's not one of the 100 things.
That's not one of the options.
That's not one of the 100 things I thought to do.
The next night, I woke up to see those same lights. But this time, I definitely heard something. I heard crackling. No, something was rustling or rummaging around in our trash can by the door. What kind of monster thingy lives in our trash? Either way, I was tired and scared, and I had enough. I got up, went over to where the lights were, reached right in between them, and flipped on the light switch. I looked in the trash can, and I could still hear something in there.
What? What was it?
There was a June bug. Earlier in the day, I had found one in the house. I thought it was dead, so I put it in the trash can.
Shit.
Apparently, the bug was not dead, just sleeping. That explained the noise. I know. That explained the noise, but what about the lights? I never found out what those were, but I have never seen them again.
Oh my gosh, she cracks me up because she is so good at keeping you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
And then just drops it. A June bug.
It was a June bug. No big
I was
deal.
like, what could possibly be in that trash can? I would have never gone June bug ever. Oh, that's great. The lights, I think, easy reflection. Like it could have been some sort of weird reflection happening through the window or a mirror or something.
Or even not to debunk, because I hate to do it.
But go ahead.
An ocular migraine.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause that's what it looks like when I start to have a migraine.
Wow. Okay, tell us more about that. That's interesting.
Well, my migraines are a little bit, I don't know if I'd say they're lights. It's more like a
orb or
blind
something?
spot right in the middle of my center of my vision.
Uh-huh.
And at first, like, it's so tiny I don't notice it. But if I'm like looking at my phone or if I'm watching like a screen, I'll be like, why can't I see that very well?
Yeah.
And then it starts to dawn. I'm like, oh no, a migraine is starting. And then I know I have about 25 minutes before the pain hits.
Man, that's wild.
So it starts for little, it gets bigger, and then it becomes more spots. But a lot of people see little lights.
Huh. Well, there you go.
So, not to debunk, but
The
or it
official
could be like a
debunk.
brain aneurysm. You see lights with that.
Don't tell
she
her
was-
she has a brain aneurysm.
This was when she was 14. She doesn't
Oh,
now.
okay, yeah,
I just know
you're
when I
good.
worked at the eye doctor, they were like, if anybody ever says they see flashing lights, tell them to come in, no
Oh
matter
my
what. Like
gosh.
for no matter what reason, doesn't matter how booked we are, they come in and we see them right away.
Aaron, you could have just saved somebody's life.
I know. There you go. Go if you see lights, go.
Well, now wait a second. If you see
Like flashing lights,
So, like, if your
that
eyes-
feel like they're coming
from
like,
your
right
eye,
in front of your vision.
right?
Suddenly, like not like there are lightning bugs outside. I'm freaking out, but it's like it feels like
Almost like internal light.
yeah,
Okay, wow, that's good to know.
yeah.
Hmm.
And people would sometimes call and be like, "Well, I'm kind of seeing lights," and we're like, "Oh, okay, no
Yeah.
big deal.
Just come in
come
immediately.
directly in."
Oh, scary.
It was scary.
But I'm sure you're fine, Jane. You're fine.
You're fine, Jane.
You're
You were
fine.
14. You're fine now, unless you're 15 writing in.
In that case,
And
stop
this is 2
listening.
weeks ago.
We talk about vibrators on here. Stop.
Hey, you
I
know
know.
what?
Yeah, 15. I think it's old enough.
Sweet dreams are not made of these. When I was just a young girl, I had terrible reoccurring dreams. Oh,
Mhm.
that's funny. We just talked about that. I shared this dream with my mom. I would have dreams that while at the house, there would be airplanes that would shoot
Oh.
up the houses and sometimes drop bombs.
Oh, no.
I know. It didn't end there. After the planes were gone, troops were sent in to take the lives of anybody remaining.
Whoa.
It was very brutal. The dreams were so vivid. I remember climbing into a secret hiding place to hide from the men. I heard the gunshots from when they found one of my family members before looking for me.
Oh, my God.
I know. I saw their boots stepping right in front of me and feeling the vibrations of their heavy footsteps. Now, this sounds like my recurring dream
Ooh.
when I was little.
Was it wartime? I don't know that you've
In
ever
my
told me
dream?
about your...
No, mine was so dumb, but it was so scary. And I can like still feel the footsteps. And I'll
Mm.
tell you. I held my breath, afraid of breathing too loud. It was a very frightening dream for a little girl to have. When I told my mom a much more vague description of my dream, she had told me, "Oh, yes, an air raid."
Oh, my gosh.
I commented, "I had no idea they sent people in after what they did." "Yeah, they sure did," she replied.
Well,
were-
thanks, Mom. I mean, what? Like what?
Yeah, I mean, like back in the wartime, they would do air raids and go in.
I know, but I think I...
Just no sympathy, no.
Yeah. I would be like, oh, yeah, that's an air raid.
Oh,
honey.
yeah.
Move on. You're fine.
There were days and sometimes weeks where I was really on edge when going outside. I would be especially nervous or panic when I heard an airplane.
Hmm.
We lived in the country, so it was common for a crop duster to fly overhead. Do you know what kind of planes they used for crop dusting? Retired models from World War II.
Ooh, weird.
Several years later, I was an adult and had been living on my own for a few years. I was sitting at the table talking with two of my older sisters. I mentioned that I always had dreams about air raids when I lived with Mom. My sisters, one after the other, chimed in that they had those dreams too.
What?
There were two parts of that house. One part is older than 120 years old. The other part was used as army barracks during World War II.
Ooh.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
So first I was thinking past life,
So was I. That's the direction I was headed.
but her house was used for that, and both her sisters had those same dreams that they had never talked about until they were adults.
Wow. That's amazing.
That is haunted.
That is a dream. That is a common dream that all three of them had. No.
Excuse me.
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. That's a dream they all had in common,
Oh, okay.
That's what I
okay.
meant.
I was like, I'm sorry.
which makes me wonder, and Mom just like throwing out, oh, that's an air raid. I don't know, like that I would specifically know that. So it makes me wonder, like, did they have anybody in their family that was in the military? Anybody that like maybe told stories when they were really
Well,
young?
I don't know where they're located, but it sounds like they were very like central to battle. So maybe it's well known in that area.
Right. So, but again, so that's what makes me wonder, like, maybe they're little and they hear like a story about that and it kind of like sets in their subconscious.
Yeah, maybe.
And then all of a sudden, they're dreaming about it later on in life
Hmm.
and they don't remember that story. They maybe all three heard it together. I don't know. I was definitely thinking past life. Maybe they were all nurses in the war together.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
So interesting.
my dream
Oh, yes. Let's hear
Have I
your
not
funny-
told this dream on here?
Wait, is this about the gas tank? The people in the gas
No,
tank that you talked to?
no, those are my imaginary friends.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think you have. I can't think of what your reoccurring dream is.
My reoccurring dream was that, and I know it's because the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie freaked me out. What was it?
What's not RoboCop?
No, but when he's
Oh, it's so good.
Terminator.
Terminator, my favorite movie when I was a kid.
I don't know if I ever watched it because I was so afraid of the commercials.
Oh my gosh, it was the best movies. I
But
loved them.
I've seen them now as an adult.
Yeah.
But in my dream, Mom and I were in a huge wooden log cabin, like 2 stories.
I do kind of remember this, but I don't think you've said it on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, it used to scare me so bad. And there was like a female Terminator.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, she was not the friendly. I'm still confused on that. Like sometimes we like Terminator and sometimes we don't like Terminator. And I don't understand the difference.
In like Terminator 3, you do like him. He comes back.
And he's nice.
He's reprogrammed and
Hmm.
he's gonna do good now.
Okay, well,
Everybody deserves a second chance.
this
Erin.
lady was not here for good.
Okay.
She was like,
she had not been reprogrammed yet.
yeah, her mission was to take me and Mom out.
Oh, how scary.
And she kept chasing after us in this house. And
Oh.
Mom and I kept hiding.
Mm-mm.
And at the very end of the dream, we're both hiding underneath the car. And Mom looks me in the eyes, like I can still see her scared eyes. And she's like, shh, like, tell me to be quiet.
Mm.
And I can feel those feet
Ugh,
getting
the
closer.
clumping. Oof.
Yes. And then right when I'm like, oh, she's past us, Mom gets
Oh my
scooped
gosh.
out by her feet.
Aaron, that's
And then I
horrible.
woke up.
Ugh.
I had that dream at least once a month for like years.
Oh man, that's a horrible dream.
It was a horrible dream.
Anytime you're being chased,
yes.
that is, and why do kids love that so much? Like, let's play tag and now watch them play it. I'm like, you're just instilling fear, like
Yeah.
total terror in each other.
Yeah.
Oh, and I hate the idea of it. Like, just listen to that. I'm like, that's the worst. Having to hide like a
Right.
sitting duck.
Right.
Ugh. Mm-mm.
It's horrible.
Nope.
And like Mom is strong and bold and amazing,
Hell
but I would
yes.
still like the fear of her getting hurt
Oh yeah.
was so much too.
Well, that's probably why. Like, if you wanted to psychoanalyze that, like somebody, like the strongest person you know,
Yeah.
getting ripped away from you, then
Ugh.
what? Then what do you do?
I'm gonna have that dream tonight.
But
oh,
listen,
I hope I
don't,
don't.
because here's what you do. Mom could scare any Terminator. That woman, when she means business, I mean, she could look at us. Aaron and I used to sit together at church,
Oh my god.
and Mom would be in the choir lofts, and Aaron and I would get the giggles.
every week.
Even as adults, we still
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. We still do it. We
It's
cannot
bad.
go and visit Mom and Dad at church because we still get the giggles in church over something. I mean, somebody will cough weird, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And like shoulders start shaking. I'm like, shit. And it's always that horrible feeling of, I know I'm not supposed to laugh.
Right.
I know it's incredibly rude, and I cannot help it. It's involuntary. It's
Yeah.
happening. And here we are. And Mom would shoot laser beams. Like,
Oh.
her eyes were so scary.
So scary.
She's way scarier than any Terminator I've ever seen.
That is true. That's good to
So there
that's
you
a
go.
good memory to
Calm
think.
that fear. Mom is terrifying.
Okay, good.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You said dream. So we're saying dream. So
I
I think you
think just
debunked
to-
as we went.
Okay. I just think dream, but boy, that was good story.
I know. I'm so glad it wasn't a cat in any of these stories. Jen. Good job.
Yeah, you delivered for Erin. She was getting real pissed off at that cat. The rest. Oh, it's hilarious.
Hey, believers.
And skeptics.
Well, we've got something you can both enjoy. The Speed Art Museum is having an exhibit called The Supernatural America. It examines the artwork that has shaped our collective imagination of the supernatural and paranormal and asks why America is haunted. This exhibit runs until January 2nd.
Museum hours are Friday 1 to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Masks are required to enter the museum. What a fun way for all skeptics
And believers.
to get the shit scared out of them, but in a classy way. So before I read this, I do want to give out a trigger warning that this is a very heavy topic. The title is Haunted Post-Nazi Inn. And it definitely discusses some torture and some, again, very heavy topics. So if you need to just not listen, that's totally fine. So I've been waiting throughout you making that entire beer
Oh, okay.
to say, so talk about stories weaving together
Uh-huh.
and coincidences happening, because this one is called Haunted Post-Nazi Inn.
Oh, weird.
So you talked about an air raid.
Right.
I mean,
in
that's
World War II.
in World War II. Yeah, I mean, ugh, and terrifying, like soldiers
That is
coming in.
weird.
Right. So this one's very interesting. Now, I am going to forgive them. Their name is Justina. But,
What a weird way to start this.
well, I'm going to forgive them because they just addressed it to you. Hey, Erin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I feel like at this point, they didn't quite know me.
This was after a call. I was
Yes.
like, we need stories.
You-
I put the call out,
You put it out there into the world, and
which I haven't done in a while.
right,
We haven't
need
needed to in a while, but now we're getting low again.
We are getting low again. We definitely need to again. So, so this one was, I think we were looking for haunted pubs or bars because we were looking for ones for our live show.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. This is a good one. Hey, Erin and Megan.
I think maybe it just means I do more hustling and it's your turn.
I'm sorry. I've done my fair share. Okay. I've done my fair share.
Okay.
Okay. I just always say, address it to the sisters. No, I'm just kidding.
You do not.
I definitely don't. I definitely don't. We're going to hope this goes smoothly because that shot of tequila is catching up. I hope you're well. She means I hope you're both well.
Right.
But, okay.
She does.
I replied to your query on Facebook about haunted bars/pubs. I mentioned my grandma's story from the Second World War. Just to give you a bit of context, the story is based roughly a couple years after the war in the small town near Krakow.
Okay.
Krakow? Krakow. Krakow. And the O has an accent mark.
Okay.
So you pronounce it. How would you say that? Krakow.
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 I don't know.
Okay. My grandma was a little child, and my great grandma worked in the inn that was also a local Nazi base during the war. The inn remained open for a few years after the war. It's now been turned into a local surgery. So that's interesting. So I'm guessing like surgery, that means
local.
Hospital.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
During the war, Nazis would bring in Polish guerrillas who needed to be tortured for information.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And killed at instant. I guess meant killing very quickly. Otherwise, they'd be sent to Auschwitz. The torturing and executions would take place at the back of the inn, but it was all very secretive.
This is
God.
horrible.
Oh,
Think of the energy in this place.
Right. I mean, this whole story is just so sad. My great grandma never even heard one moan. So she was there while it was happening.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
Awful.
After the Nazis left, their offices, and in parentheses, where people would be tortured, hung, and shot, were turned into the rooms for the staff.
Oh my gosh. No, thank you.
Right. One of which was given to my great grandma. She also had another place to stay with her parents, so she didn't use the room to stay overnight at all. Thank God.
Yeah.
Once, however, my great grandma had much more work to do in the inn, and my grandma was very tired, so she decided to stay in. So imagine this woman with her small child.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. There was also another woman who lived in the room next door. My grandma assumed she'd gone to sleep. My great grandma finished work and went to bed with my grandma. Only a few moments after they'd closed their eyes, they both heard noises of chairs being dragged around, coming from another room. My grandma specifically remembers her mother being very annoyed at the other woman since it was so late and she was making so much noise cleaning. After a while, my great grandma got up and knocked on the other woman's door to ask her to stop making noise. The woman didn't respond, but the noises stopped. My great grandma went back to bed, but my grandma said that while her mother was knocking on the door, she also heard someone crying.
Oh.
I know. My great grandma was tired, so she just said they should go to sleep. But then she also heard, again, not only the noises of chairs being aggressively dragged around the room, but also crying and moaning. They were both terrified. The noises didn't stop until the morning, and they both didn't fall asleep all night.
Oh, no.
In the morning, the other woman met with my great grandma and told her that she was away for the night, so there was no way that she was making any noises at all.
Oh my gosh.
She also said that she heard similar noises in the inn before. Since then, there were many, many people reporting that they'd heard noises, but my great-grandma never stayed there overnight again, and my grandma wasn't allowed to play in the inn. The building still exists, and there were a few Christian rituals done to release tormented souls.
Oh.
I personally don't believe in ghosts, and I am an atheist. But when my grandma tells me this story, I can feel her fear, and I always get goosebumps. I also heard the story from my great-grandma when she was alive. That was when I was 12 years old, and she was absolutely sure that the inn was badly haunted.
Oh my gosh.
It's all pretty casual stuff for ghost lovers. But hope this helps. Best wishes, Justina. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Casual would not be the word I would attach to that. But
Right.
but my gosh, like heavy is what I would attach to that, because
Yeah.
that is, oh, I mean, just, I even at one point said like, oh, it's all just so sad. Sad is not even the word.
Yeah.
There's,
it's
I don't
horrible.
even know that there is a word when it comes to the Holocaust, when it comes to Nazis. It's just, there's not a word in any dictionary that defines like the heaviness of it all.
Yeah.
But my skeptical side
Mhm.
does want to point out that it is an inn. It could still be a living person in that room. Just because it wasn't the person who lived in that room doesn't mean that it wasn't somebody who broke in and was doing something in there, or it was a squatter. You know, maybe not even like a permanent squatter, but somebody who needed a place to stay for the night, so they squatted for that. What's a nightly squatter? What's the word for that?
A squattee.
A squattee, just a mini squatter, just in a little place. So I don't know, just there's a lot of variables there as far as, echoing other rooms, what's going on around, all of those different things.
Oh, I don't know. You talk about energy all the time. The energy that is,
yes.
I can't even imagine how creepy
No.
that place must feel, how sad it must feel as soon as you walk in. That kind of energy doesn't feel like it could just
go away. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is.
Oh, that's awful.
It's just unfathomable, I guess, is the only word I can think of. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to say that that's my skeptic side, but I think anything to do with something with that much gravity, I just don't feel comfortable going into that area of saying it couldn't be any, I just don't, I want to be as respectful as I can when it comes to that subject matter.
Okay.
So
that's good. Know your boundaries.
I know my boundaries, and there they are. But great story.
Right.
Whew. Yeah, good story. And I did think it was kind of like eerie a little bit how it went from the air raid into that World War II story.
That was unplanned. I hadn't even read through Jane's at all.
Yeah, it was a cold read. So that was a little like, ooh, do.
Yeah. I also kind of feel like I should either always do a cold read or always take a shot of tequila, because I read it better than normal.
Beautifully done.
There was some goose that I'll just take out, but
I think leave them in. I thought it was great. No, and I think that it was the tequila.
Oh, okay.
Good stories tonight.
Yeah,
both
really
very,
good stories.
Very spooky, very intricate. They were good.
Yeah. So thank you both for writing those in.
Yes.
And now it's time for fan favorite.
Oh my gosh. As I was drinking and as you were saying, I was like, oh shit, I didn't pick one.
It's my turn.
It's not my turn. Thank God. I love picking them. I just did not tonight.
No, I picked them. It's good.
Yay. Good job.
Thank you.
I didn't even remind you. I didn't even tease you about not picking one.
I know. I kept waiting for you to ask, and I was going to be like, oh, right. But no, I asked him like on Friday.
Well done.
Okay. So our fan favorite this week is our Patreon, Keith.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Keith, get in here.
Right.
I want to know everything about Keith. Don't you?
I'm going to tell you one mystery was solved.
Oh, good. Okay. I love Keith. Oh, you go ahead. It's your fan favorite.
Okay. So I wrote to Keith that he was our fan favorite and asked what I could promote. Oh, I also asked him, how'd you find out about our podcast?
Yes. I'm dying to know.
He lives in Cincinnati. I've seen.
Okay.
So, because I stalk everybody.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, do we know him? Like, we don't know him, right? But no, we don't.
Okay.
He responded, I'm so excited. Thank you. I found you from Murder Squared.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Michaela's podcast.
Thank you, Michaela.
So many amazing mentions and shout outs.
No.
I would love to shout out Rainbow Railroad. This charity helps LGBT plus escape violence and persecution in their home countries. They help these individuals establish a new life in the USA or Canada. They
Wow.
supply housing, transportation, and even a job and cash assistance. They are nonprofit and they are truly appreciative of any donation, whether time or monetary.
Mm.
And the website for that is www for you.
The
Dot-
ones who need the W's before.
Right. All the W's. rainbowrailroad.org/take-action.
Wow. I love that.
Yes. Can't wait to see your next live show. Thanks again.
Did they see her?
I don't think so. I think they're planning on the next one.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. So we'll put that website on there and we'll definitely send a donation over. And
Oh, for sure. What a worthy cause. I mean,
Right.
that's so important. So important.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Keith is awesome. He's one of our Patreons and I can't wait to hang out with him on movie night.
And I just started noticing Keith just kind of popping up here and there, like mentioning, like saying some little quirky things, like responding to memes or different things on the
Yeah.
Facebook. And I was like, who is this funny person? Because I'm really enjoying them. So I'm
Right.
so glad you picked them because they were on my radar.
Haha, I got to him first.
You got to him first.
I
Good job.
win.
Good job. You win. And that was a great one. So
All right.
I can't wait for the day. It'll be really funny when you pick one. I'm like, really? Every fan favorite we pick, I always say that was a great one. Because I mean, they're all great, but it would be so funny if I was like, oh, really? That's who you're gonna pick.
So now one of you knows that's how she feels about you.
She'll edit all that out. No, I'm just teasing.
Mm.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, look, I got my phone out like I was gonna read you a fan favorite.
Oh.
Boy, that tequila's feeling good now. Okay.
Tomorrow's going to be fun.
I know. No, I'm gonna stop. This is it.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
We have 2 limes left. We're going to have one more beer.
Oh, girl, you know we're gonna.
We can't waste a lime.
We cannot waste a line. And it's a Tuesday.
Just my busiest
I
day.
know, just dead in the middle of the week. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that's all right. We'll be fine.
Yeah, but we'll be fine. We know how to handle our liquor. Trust me.
Yes, yeah, we're good. We're pros.
All right. So thank you guys for listening this week. You can find us on our social at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said MySpace.
MySpace. We should totally make a MySpace account.
I don't even know if you can.
What if it's like a retro thing that comes back? Like all of a sudden, MySpace blows
MySpace
up.
was superior.
It was the shit.
You got to pick your top like 8.
Oh yeah.
You got to have music when people came to your page.
Uh-huh.
I freaking loved MySpace.
Yeah, I was down. Let's bring it back. Let's do this.
Okay. You can
Look for us on MySpace.
look for us. We'll see.
Good luck.
You can send your stories in to myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can go to our website at www.myskepticalsister.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can become a Patreon. Just go to patreon.com and search My Skeptical Sister.
Mm-hmm.
You can rate, review, subscribe on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to us, and
You do so
I
good.
think that's it.
It's
I
so
think we
good.
got it all.
After hours, can you
After Hours coming up.
can we give a little detail to that? Because I know Connie was on there asking,
Yeah, it's on November 19th.
right?
I don't know how much it cost or anything like that, but
Go research it, people.
I do know they have bars.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna tell you that my friend Mary Lou, she just went to an after hours.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was, I'm like, that can't just be during the day. It looked
It's after hours.
well, no, I mean the pictures. She didn't say like this is after hours. She said Speed Art Museum was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she totally had to have done an after hours thing.
Yeah.
Because it was swanky as shit. Now she was dressed up in a costume.
Oh, do we have to dress up in a costume?
I don't want to. But it looked like,
email them.
yeah, like,
Double check.
what exactly do you want from us here?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
But it looked amazing. The food looked incredible.
Ooh, food.
The food, yeah, I didn't even think there'd be food. Yeah, I was just down for the booze. But
Yeah, I'm
food,
excited.
yeah, I am too. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely look into that. We'll be there November 19th. Who knows how pricey it is?
Right.
Good luck. Come see us.
Yeah, we're worth it. Come on.
Come on.
There will likely be a Ouija board there. I don't know if I'm going to touch it, but it'll be there.
She'll definitely, everybody will gather around and we'll make her do it by herself.
Oh my gosh.
I kid. Whitney did send me a text today. She was like, I can't believe she hasn't burned it yet.
No
Made me
way.
laugh.
Release all that into the.
Right.
No way.
Just for it to come back again the next day.
Only makes it stronger.
Oh my
Mm,
gosh,
thank
I would
you.
have so much fun if you burned a Ouija board. I would have so much fun replanting Ouija boards like all over your house, like watching. Oh, ideas. Okay.
I'm not gonna do it, so it's not gonna happen.
Okay. All right. Well, you gave him the spiel.
All right.
Good night.
La 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 la.
Did you hear something weird? Oh, the dogs.
Yeah, I
What
did.
was that?
I honestly, I thought it was like a weird gurgle in your
Yeah,
throat.
it sounded really weird. I was like, what? But I knew it wasn't my throat, so I was like, what is
Always-
this?
Always weird when you hear a throat gurgle and you know it's not your own. It's like, where did that come from?
Oh man. I need to read that again.
Hmm.
One building that I cleaned was particular. I
Maybe
hate that
read
word.
read that part again.
Sorry. It'll be good.
Such a good story to bang
I'm
your
so
refrigerator
sorry.
to.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Ah, that was the air
Oh
conditioner.
my gosh, that's the loudest
go-
I've ever heard
Let
your
me go turn it on.
air conditioner.
Our heater's been going.
Oh. That was hilarious because as I'm sitting here saying, like, I would be so brave, my eyes got so big, like, what the fuck? I'm not going back there. Whatever that lion is back there.
www.mysyscep.
I'm also throwing the F-bomb out left and right. Sorry, it was that tequila. Got me a little warm. I had to take off my sweater. Plus, you can't wear a cardigan while you're doing shots of tequila. Something
No.
about that feels weird.
Sweet dreams are not made of these.
Sweet dreams are
Actually, it
made
says of
of
this.
these. Who am I to disagree? That is the best song.
It is a great song.
Okay, go ahead.
I heard
Mm.
the gunshots I heard the gunshots. I heard the gunshots from when they were.
It's that tequila is starting to set in.
No.
I keep feeling that that's why I just broke into song. Subconscious?
Yeah.
Subconscious?
Unconscious.
Sets in. I'm going to do another shot of tequila.
Are you really? I'm not.
I might.
Bye, guys.
Nighty night.
Well, now you still. What's wrong with you?
I have to say something different every time.
Okay, I thought this whole conversation was that you were setting me up for me to finish it for
Oh,
once.
that's true. I was.
And then you're like, we used too abrupt.
And then what did you
say?
say this last time?
I don't know. Good night, guys.
And I said good night. So you're supposed to say something different than good night. So say, arrivederci.
I won't. So dumb.
You won't say, how do you say goodbye in Yiddish? Don't you think it's funny? No,
I think you think it's funny.
I love it. I think it's so endearing. Just a different goodbye every time.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, then just say,
Bye, y'all.
oh, okay. Fine. I'll take it.